All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, you see it on the screen here. We've got some ST06 action to go over today. That's what we got lined up for you in today's video. That's right, this is ST06 Mono Black Sakazuki. Okay, very fun video lineup for today. It's meant to be a more chill, lighthearted video. This is not meant to be a meta deck, guys. This is definitely meant to be more for the casual players out there who are just trying to play something different, trying to have a little bit of fun on the sim, or maybe at locals, who knows, on like an off-meta night. Okay, so with that in mind, let me go and break down the video for you guys so we can just dive straight into this. First things first, we're going to go over to the VV Lab. We've got a game of Blue Doflamingo versus Red Yellow Bello Betty. Okay, let's see what we can learn from that. That should be a good time. After that, we're going to head over to the deck list. We're going to see what I'll show you guys what I've been cooking up with Mono Black Sakazuki here. It's meant to be more fun. We've got 2 decks to go over. And then we're going to head over to the sim. I do only have 3 games lined up for us on the sim today, but we'll talk about that more as we get into it as well. And then we will finish off the video by going over the deck list one more time. And I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this leader and the direction I think we should go with it. Okay, guys? All right, let's do this. Let's hop into it, guys. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description. I will have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions or whatever, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. Or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. Okay, now, let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. The lab first. Okay, we got to do the VV Lab first. Let me move the leader screen out of the way here, and we have a game of Blue Doffy versus Red Yellow Bello Betty. Now, for any of the new listeners or new viewers out there, what is a VV Lab? What am I talking about? So what I do here on the channel is I have on the Discord, I have a section that's dedicated to people who want to submit their gameplay for me to review. It's completely free of charge. It doesn't cost any money. But you have to record your game, okay, on the sim like this. Record your game, upload it to YouTube, and then post the link in the Review My Games channel. It's Review My Game channel on the Discord. And then what happens, I put a thumbs up next to it as soon as I see it, and then it gets thrown in into a video like this where I go over it and I just kind of talk over and kind of give my advice on plays that come up and all that good stuff. We kind of go over these games play by play. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. If you guys have any comments or questions or suggestions on that, please don't be afraid to put that in the comment section below as well. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and hop into today's game. The volume is already off. Let me make sure the speed is on 2x, and we are good to go, guys. Everything looks good on the recording end. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. So we got a game here of Blue Doffy versus Bello Betty, and the Doffy's going to go first. Now, I will say this. I do think that Blue Doffy is pretty well... Okay, hang on. Already, we got to go back. I want to see what we got in this. Okay. Wow. Guys, we have a great opening pull here. Okay, it looks like it clipped a little bit poorly, but if you guys can't see very well under my camera, check this out. I did a bad job on this one, guys. This is actually... I think I have the wrong overlay on, but y'all bear with me. This first card that's going to be on the top of that on the top of the deck, they'll draw it next turn, will be a... Marshall D. Teach, followed by Jinbei into Mihawk, and Jinbei. That is how they're going to have their top cards set up. That is going to be very, very strong, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But let me say this real quick right up front. I do think Blue Doffy is pretty well favored into Bello Betty. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. So, okay, so they set their top 5 cards like this. I think that's fine. I don't think that's bad. Okay, they're going to move the Jinbei to the front. So, okay, actually, we do have to go back and talk about it, don't we? Okay, let me hit play. Let me look at the top 5 cards. There, that's how they're going to set it. So hear me out. I think the way we should have done this, is that how you say that properly? So next turn, we're going to draw the Marshall D. Teach off the top, and then we're going to swing for 7 with our leader, playing out the Jinbei, playing the Jinbei from the top of our deck, and then playing out the 4-cost Law, bouncing back our Perona, and then whatever Bello Betty played that previous turn. That's what makes this matchup very strong for Doffy, is just beating down their board like that and pushing cards out of the way. Those 2 Trafalgar Laws in hand are going to be very, very good in this matchup. But one thing I will say is I think what we should have done there is I think we should have moved the Jinbei, the middle Jinbei right here. I think we should have moved it over just a single spot so we can swing for 7 again on the following turn. And yeah, I guess it's true we will be able to set it either way with Perona, which is probably what's going to happen. That will probably allow us to do what we need to. Or maybe, I don't know, No, I was going to say they could just Marshall D teach. I have no idea. We'll see what happens, guys. But the way that I would have done it personally is I would have played out the Jinbei 1 over from here in case I had to do something differently for the turn. Now, let's see what happens. So we set the cards like that. And now, by the way, that is the hardest thing to do with... Okay, so we're going to actually play out the Marshall D teach. Interesting. Okay, so just going super aggressive on the board, going super low in hand size. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But, okay, so I think we have a serious problem here, actually. So hear me out. We're going to play out the Perona. Okay, and here's how we ended up setting it. Hang on, that's not how we set it. We set it like this. So we already know Jinbei's on top of our deck. Right. So why would we even play out the Marshall D teach? In fact, I think now that I'm thinking about it more than ever, I think Marshall D teach probably should have been at the very end of this. Let's just draw a 2K counter next turn, play out the Jinbei sideways, and cheat out the Trafalgar Law, pulling back the Perona so that we can play that out again next turn. If the idea here is you don't want to play out a character sideways from the top, well, we're going to do that anyway. We're about to play out the Trafalgar Law that way. So that's very interesting. All right, let's see what happens again now. So they set it like that, and I just want to see this second turn again. No turn 1 play for Bello Betty is nice. So now we're going to attach 2 Dawn. We're going to push the Law to the top of our deck, attach 2 Dawn for free to our leader. We're going to swing in for 7, deploy the card, pulling back the Perona, and then not pull back the Trafalgar Law. Yeah, so I think that was just kind of a strict, like, I think that was kind of a... we got to bust out the chess accuracy meter, guys. I would consider this an inaccuracy because we could have developed an entirely new body, and if they want to attack into our Jinbei, yeah, that's great because, guys, Bello Betty is a very aggressive matchup. If they want to swing into our Jinbei, thank you very much. We'll take it every time. So we got to be a little more careful, I think, when setting our top cards, or if that was intended, like I said, I think that was more of an inaccuracy than anything. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below if you agree with me or agree with the play. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, so they're going to swing in for 7, and hang on. What just happened? So swinging in for 7, and they're going to take it. Okay, and we have an inaccuracy on our opponent's side as well. So notice what Bartholomew Kuma reads. I don't know if you guys can read that with the quality. I'm going to read it for you. If your leader has the Revolutionary Army type, which Bello Betty does, and the total of your and your opponent's life cards is 5 or less. So 5 or less. You can play this card. So they tried to activate the Bartholomew Kuma when there was 7 Dawn between everybody, or 8 life between everyone. So they activated the trigger. It attempted to resolve the effect, and it could not. So it just goes to the trash because they did choose to activate the trigger, even though they could not meet the the condition. Okay, so that was a huge play mistake from our opponent. Unfortunately, they just lost a 2K counter. Okay, let's see what happens next here. They're going to play out the Ivankov. They'll probably trash a card from hand. Yep, to buff at 3,000 to cheat out another card. Cheating out the Lindbergh. Swing 5 into 5 here. Seems good. We do counter out. I do agree. Well, I agree with countering out, but I don't think I would have countered out with the Perona. I would have absolutely countered out with the pudding instead. That's what I would have done personally. So now let's see what happens here. Looks like we're going to play out. Maybe play out the Jinbei. Yeah, see, I think last turn really messed us up, guys. I don't think we needed Marshall D teach in this situation. What are we going to pull back? I guess we can pull back the Law, attach 2, and put it to the top of deck. Swing in for 7, play out the Law, bounce that guy. Yep, that is definitely an option. That's what makes this deck very good, and that's why I've also argued that card right there, guys. So let me pause real quick. Whoop, let me play it out. So that is why I have argued for this card right here that it might not be exactly balanced because of that specific interaction. And sure, people might say like, yeah, but if he didn't have Marshall D teach, you couldn't have set it there. Yeah, that is true, but at the same time, there is Perona. There are ways to set your top cards, just maybe not necessarily always from your hand. So whatever the case is, bouncing. We're getting there one way or another, right? We're getting there one way or another. Okay, so they do get a trigger. We're going to swing in for 5 more. They should counter out of this. It's just too greedy to take that. Yep, use the 1K counter from the Lindbergh. They got bounced back from hand. And here we go. They play out the Ivankov again. They're going to cheat out another card here. Okay, they're going to swing 5 into that. Yep, just, let that... Okay, now what? Yeah, so I'm very confused on what our opponent was going to do here. I think that was just a blunder. 11 into 5, okay, sure. I think what they should have done was 6 into 5, and then if they got a 2K counter from you, that would have been fine. And then they could have gone everything at face to try to knock you down to 3, because this game's not going well for the Bello Betty, guys. For those who are not aware of what's happening right now, this game is not going well for the Bello Betty currently. And like I said, this is a heavily favored Doffy matchup. Very heavily favored for Doffy. Speaking from experience, guys, I know. Okay, so they're going to bounce back that card right there. They'll push the card to the top. Yep. And we can just keep this loop going infinitely. Very, very well played here. Swing 8 into 6, bouncing that card back. Very nice. And then if they want to try to get out of this, we can swing 6 more into it with the Jinbei, which I think we should. And they'll 1K counter out, but that's fine. Our opponent has 1 card in hand now, guys. 1 card in hand. Well, 2 after they drew for the turn. They'll swing 7 into 5. That's fine. That's completely fine. Now they can attach 1, swing in. Beautiful. We get to draw 2 cards. Thank you very much. We actually loved that, right? So now we're going to play this out. Okay, so that was a play. We have another play mistake, guys. It just has to be said. So this is strictly a play mistake. This isn't even a matter of like a preference type of thing. We have the opportunity to remove this card from the field, or excuse me, just completely KO it, remove it. Don't give them the 1K counter back in hand. We can develop our board and remove this card. So this is just strictly a play mistake here, unfortunately. So watch this. Okay. They are going to bounce back the Trafalgar Law to bounce a card we can swing into sideways when they only have 1 card in hand. So we can actually just swing 7 into this like we were going to. Well, swing 8 into it, excuse me. We can swing 8 into this card and get rid of it for sure. Guaranteed gone. And then we can bounce back the Morley to their hand while we develop this Trafalgar Law, play out the Jinbei, actually, excuse me, probably play out the Perona first. We can play out the Perona first to see what's on the top of our deck. We can then set the Jinbei to the top of our deck with the Teach and just do whatever we had to do. There were so many different play lines, but this was for sure not the correct one, guys. And again, understand we're reviewing these. People ask me to review these just so I can give them my perspective on it, and it's never intended to be like mean or anything like that. Notice we have the names blacked out. You have no idea who's playing the game right now. This is meant to be more educational for the person who is asking for this to be reviewed, and hopefully it helps out other people in the process as well. There was no reason for us to give them the card back as a 1K counter. Is there a huge difference? No, not in this specific situation, but in other situations it could be a game-losing error, right? Because giving them back that 1K counter and us not producing an extra body on the board could cost us in a closer game. Understand that, guys. That's what I'm trying to say here. Again, it's not meant to be negative or critical. So now we can swing for 7. So, no, yes, just swing. Okay. I'm going to pull back that card, but we have this card on top. So, yeah, we had some major problems this game with the top of deck stuff, guys. Let me pause this real quick and then go to right here. I want to see what was in their hand. Play, pause, right there. Okay. Yeah, so their hand is completely gone anyway, so it still ended up working out just fine. But understand, there were far more optimal plays we could have done. There's no reason to pull the card back to our hand. We've already set the card to the top of our deck. We could actually pull back the Marshall D Teach if we wanted to, or just nothing at all. Swinging for 7, playing out the Trafalgar Law, pulling back the Trafalgar Law to our hand, so that way they can't attack into it and go about things that way. Very good game to the players here. I think there was a lot to be learned on both sides. For example, remember what happened early on, guys? The first time we swung for 7, they tried to activate a trigger that was not legal yet. I mean, it was legal to attempt it, but it didn't go through because we did not meet the conditions with the Bartholomew Kuma that we see on the screen here, and then with a lot of the top of deck stuff with Blue Doffy. Guys, one of the most important things about Doffy is developing the board while removing your opponent's board. Not removing your board at a cost to remove your opponent's board. We do that when we have to, but we actually could have had far more optimal plays in this situation. Either way, great game to both players here. That was a very educational one. Guys, don't be afraid to say stuff in the comment section below on the VV Lab, but let's just please keep it respectful. We're trying to help people get better at the game and stuff like that. We saw plenty of mistakes here, a lot of good stuff to learn from, and hey, at the end of the day, we still got the dub, right? We still got the win, so we'll take that. Awesome. Okay, let's move on from there, guys. Now we do have to go ahead and check out the Sakazuki list that we're going to be going over today. That's weird to say, guys. That is, whoops, forgot to take off the overlay. So that is weird to say, guys. So let's read the leader real quick, and we're going to talk about how bad the leader effect is, but how it does have at least some potential, and we'll see some of it in today's video. So this is the leader for today, guys. It is from ST06, like I said in the intro. It is a 5,000 power, 5 life mono black navy leader, and it has activate main once per turn, pay 3, trash a card from your hand as part of the cost. You do have to trash a card from your hand, and then you're going to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. Now, understand how that was supposed to work in the beginning of this game. When this game first came out, the idea, the logic was removal is very strong, so what are we going to do to balance it? We're going to have to trash a card from our hand to trash a card from their board, right? Not trash per the actual, keyword, but like trashing a card from our hand to KO a card from their board, removing a card from their board. That was the logic. But we got some problems here, right? Number 1, this costs 3 Dawn. Number 2, we have to trash card from hand, so we're going down in our hand size. And then number 3, we can only hit a 0 cost character. There are no characters in the game currently that cost 0 in the entire game. So in other words, we're going to have to combo this leader's effect with cards like Kuzan's when attacking effect, or maybe Ice Age. Or way back then, guys, there was also this other card that got banned, unfortunately, called Great Eruption. So we had cards that were meant to reduce the cost of our opponent's characters, characters that would do this, like Hina, like Tashigi, this old Sengoku. This is basically a 5-cost version of Kuzan, but instead of having a 1k counter on Kuzan, Kuzan has an on-play draw card effect, and this card does not have the on-play draw card effect, but it does have the 1k counter. So you guys see what's going on. It was meant to be like this at first with black, where it was like, okay, you're going to have all your cost reduction be from your characters, and then the KO effects are going to be really powerful from something like Sakazuki, the leader here, where we have to trash a card to KO, or we're going to have to use the 6-cost Sakazuki that came out in OP02 as well, way back when ST06 came out. Like, okay, we're going to on-play trash a card from our hand to KO a 5 or less, or we're going to have to use something like this Kobe, trashing a card to pop a 3 or less. And one more example, guys. Where is Garp at? Where's our guy Garp? I'm about to just type it in if I can't find it. There he is. Garp, a 5-cost 6k with no counter, activate main, trash a card, and rest this character to pop a 4 or less. So you guys see what's going on there. Okay, they did this very intelligently as far as how things were like calculated, but it didn't really pan out that way as far as the game goes. Right? As far as the game goes, it didn't really work out that way, unfortunately. Like Kobe, okay, yeah, this pops a 3, the Garp pops a 4, the Sakazuki pops a 5. It seems like everything's going to make sense and everything's going to be great. But guys, trashing a card as a cost to use removal, that's unheard of nowadays. That's almost unplayable unless it comes with the added effect of like drawing one and trashing one, like with 7-cost Jack. Right, let's type in 7 real quick. Like Jack, we can draw a card and trash a card and then pop something. Or with 9-cost Kaido, we can actually trash a card to make our opponent trash a character and they trash a card from their hand. Right, so that's very powerful. Power creep has kind of moved up. I talked about this. I'll try to post this in the comment section of today's video, but I did just kind of go over how power creep is creeping itself. It's creeping into the game. Okay, so anyway, so with that in mind, guys, this leader is basically a relic of the past now. It was never particularly incredible, even back in OP02, back when it came out with the ST06 starter deck. But it was at least playable back then. I'll say that. It wasn't great, but it was playable. It was much more playable back then compared to what we have nowadays. But now, guys, there's almost no reason to run this card. You have to, guys, you have to go minus on the, how do I say this? You have to trash 1 card from hand just to KO something. Then you have to pay 3, okay? So you have to pay 3, trash a card from hand, and that's just to pop a 0-cost character. So if you want to pop anything of relevance, you're going to have to combo it with some of the cards we're going to be messing around with in today's video, with cards like Tashigi here, this 2k counter Tashigi, Kuzan when attacking, Suru, things like that, or Ice Age, of course. But think about this, guys. If you have to use Ice Age, it feels really bad, right? Because you're going to have to trash Ice Age from your hand to go -5, pay 3, trash another card from your hand, right? I just lost count with my fingers there, but we're going to be trashing so much from our hand. We're going 2 cards negative in our hand to remove a 5-cost or lower character. And it's taking up our entire turn too, guys. Like, we're not getting any benefit from it. We're just paying 3 and just losing a card from hand, and we're losing a very powerful cost reducer just to do what it does. So you guys can see where that's a little... It's been power crept a little out of the game at this point, guys. It was already not great even back then, like I said, but now it's even worse. But hey, we still got a few wins we're going to go over in today's video, guys. We got some fun ones we're going to go over today. So let me go ahead and finish up the list here. The main card, there are 3 cards we have to look at that are really new. We've seen most of these guys, T-Bone, Kuzan, Kobe. Some people may have never seen Tashigi. This is from OP02 as well. It's a common from all the way back then. It's a 3-cost 5K, no counter. Dawn ×1 when attacking, -3. So this gives -3 when attacking. Kuzan gives -4 when attacking. This Isho from back in the day, right, guys? This is a -3 when you attach a Dawn. Subaru does -2, Tashigi does -2 whenever you rest it, activate main, rest it. Subaru's on play. Marineford gives -1 on play and -1 when you tap it, so you can do -2 in 1 turn. You guys see what's going on here? We have a lot of cost reduction in this deck because we can actually KO everything based on our leader's effect, right? Like, we can actually KO what we want to as long as we can drop their cost down low enough, okay? But there are 3 cards we have to talk about. 2 are from Starter Deck 19 that came out pretty recently. Well, it's a while ago now at the time we were recording this. But this came out, not too long ago, the Starter Deck 19. It was ST15 through ST20. So Sengoku and Garp, and then in EB02, we're getting Sengoku. We'll talk about him last. So Sengoku, guys, check this out. 1 cost, 1,000 power, 1K counter, Navy Sengoku, on play, trash 2 black Navy cards. 2 black Navy type cards from your hand, and then if your leader has the Navy type, draw 3 cards. So guys, this card is actually really not bad because you're going to pay 1 to drop this down right on turn 1 as a searcher. You're going to trash 2 cards from your hand, something like Kobe here, maybe even this Tashigi if you have to. I don't know, trash whatever you need to. If it's if it's early in the game where you don't think you'll need Isho, trash this, whatever, or the Kuzan. Whatever you choose to trash 2 black Navy cards. That's everything in the deck in this version here. And you get to draw 3. So you're going down 3 cards in hand by playing out the Sengoku, 1 card on board, but it's just a 1K, and 2 cards from hand to draw 3 cards. So this card is excellent for filling up the trash, and it's also just really good for fixing our hand a little bit, going deeper into the deck. Garp is just a 3-cost 4K, 1K counter blocker. His activate main says place 1 card from your trash at the bottom of your deck and give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 for the turn. So it is just a nice little utility blocker that has cost reduction built in. It's nothing special, but we will take it. It's a blocker, like I said, and we can drop the cost down of characters with the effect. We have Marineford, we have Ice Age as well to combo with stuff to get the bigger targets. Now, last but not least, we have Sengoku here. This is a 7-cost, 7,000 power, 1K counter blocker. This card is actually very good, guys. This card is actually extremely good. So 7-cost, 7K, 1K counter blocker, those stats are already fine for me. But then check this on play out, guys. Play up to 1 black Navy type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash. It does come into play rested as a way to balance it, but hey, that's still very good because he's a blocker as well. So they play out the card, your opponent's probably going to attack into it, and then you could rest this to block the first attack for free, typically speaking. I mean, who knows? It might be a 7K attack. You still block and give him a 1K to get out of the big attack. So really cool stuff here. We are running 2 Shockwaves just for old time's sake, guys. This card used to be so good, at least in my personal opinion. The trigger pops a 4 or less no matter what, but the counter is a 4K count. It's a 2-cost 4K that pops an active 3-cost or lower character. Okay, it does have to be active, which is very annoying, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, this is like a time long ago in the game. I feel like in today's day and age, I don't think this card would have to be active anymore for this effect, but who knows? Maybe that's how they intended for it to be from the beginning. Okay, so this is the first list. This will be 2 games, the first 2 games we go over. Then we have 1 more deck to go over of Sakazuki here that looks like this. Now, this is a much more modern take on it, where honestly, guys, this is basically a vanilla character. Excuse me, a vanilla leader. So it's a vanilla 5,000 power, 5 life Navy leader. And we'll talk about that more as we get into it. We've got 1 game to go over of this version here. We're running 4 Rebecca, 4 Brooke, 4 Gecko, 2 Kaido, 4 Ice Age, of course. And that's the entirety of the deck, to be honest. Everything else is just helpful. We got little extra cards to pull out of trash if we need to with Rebecca. That can hit some bigger targets than Brooke can. We have the Suru and Tashigi and T-Bone 2K counter package. 4 Borsalino, 4 Kuzan. We are running 2 Marinefords. Why not? This can be something else. One thing I will say that I would consider adding after playing this, and we'll talk about this more at the end, is maybe adding the Sengoku. Because if you can go like, think of it like this, guys. Okay, on your 7 Dawn turn, we're going to say if you have to go first, I think typically you're going to want to go second, but if you have to go first, no problem. We'll go, okay, on our 7 Dawn turn, slam down Sengoku, cheating out like a Kuzan or something. They're going to do everything they can to get rid of this, or bring back a Borsalino, which will be a 6,000 power character on their turn. Even though it's still sideways, it'll be very powerful. Sure, whatever. We'll use this out, and then on our 9 Dawn turn, on the next turn, we can play out a Ice Age plus Gecko with Rebecca Brook combo, or whatever from there, or even Rebecca plus Kobe. We're hitting an 8-cost character, and that would have been their 8-cost turn, so we could pop anything like that, or even potentially use Kaido right on curve on a 9 Dawn curve. This is something that, like I said, we should talk about later once we get to that at the end of the video. Okay, guys, that's it. Let's do this. Let's hop into the games here. We got 3 games to go over on the sim. Man, that leader looks so cool, guys. I have to say, and I'm not talking about Smoker, not Red Green Smoker. I'm talking about Mono Black Sakazuki. It caught my attention, guys, when I saw it in the store. This, like I said, it was, so if, I don't know if I mentioned this in the intro, but Sakazuki is the leader that got me into the game. ST06 Mono Black Sakazuki that we're messing with today. It's like a trip down memory lane for me, guys. I thought, dude, this looks really cool. We're going to give this a try. It was actually, just to finish up that story, me and my son were looking for a game to play in the summer of, I guess, 2023, right, when the game first came out in the West. We missed OP01, but we, by chance, went to the card store to see what all was available. And it was like, okay, I like trading card games, and we were trying to find something to do, and my son liked One Piece. So we saw, I saw this leader. I was like, oh man, I gotta play that. And I had no idea about One Piece back then, guys. I still barely do, right? People make fun of me for it all the time. But my son loved One Piece, but I had no idea about trading card games. So it's like, here we go, man. This is like a trip down memory lane for me. Okay, let's do this. Enough yapping about that. Volume is down. Speed's on 2x. Volume's off. And here we go. I feel like I messed that up. I can't remember how I usually say that. All right, so we hit play, right? Yep. Okay, it's going. We're just waiting for our opponent to pick what they want to do, because they got to choose to go first or second here. Okay, we're about to just fast forward 30 seconds, guys. We're already 30 seconds into this game. We're just waiting on our opponent here. Sometimes you got to hit them with a question mark over on the side. Maybe they're not paying attention. You never know. Okay, so they chose to go first. They're going to slam down a Virgo, pass the turn back to us after doing a search. And then we're going to go ahead and go, all right, turn one brand new. We'll grab Ice Age, because that's going to be pretty nice in this matchup, right? They're going to play out the Tashigi here, the one that protects green characters. We probably should just get rid of that card, to be completely honest, guys, but we end up developing a Kuzan instead. Okay, well, that's not a green card, guys. That's not a green card, so we can pop that Chopper, no problem, right? And we are going to go ahead and use the leader effect right away here, trashing the stage, popping that, getting the blocker out of the way, swing for 5, swing for 5 more with Kuzan, or maybe don't even swing at all, just leave the Kuzan active so they can't deal with it. They end up dealing with it anyway with the Ben Beckman, seems good. They stand 2 Dawn as active with their leader effect because they have a 7,000 power or higher character on the board. We get an Ice Age, we're going to pop the Tashigi with that. That's 2 Ice Ages down, and we have 1 more in our hand, guys, so we only have 1 more left in the deck somewhere or in our life somewhere. So here we go. Let's see what we can do here. We do have an 8 Dawn turn. We're going to slam down Sengoku, getting the Kuzan right back, drawing a card from the on-play effect from Kuzan. We have a blocker. Seems good. Sengoku, let's trash some cards to draw some cards. That is nice, guys. That Sengoku is very nice. I probably shouldn't have trashed the blocker there, but I was hoping to get to another Sengoku. Ended up not happening. Now my opponent has a very, very powerful play here with Hody Jones. They do lose a life in the process, but hey, I'm not exactly in the best position here. Okay, excuse me, let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to use a Gum Gum Mole Gun, guys. On a 9 Dawn turn, they just had an 11 Dawn play. That was insane. 7 plus 4, yeah, that ended up being 11 Dawn play. They swing 2 into 3. That was just a mess up on their part, no big deal. They're going to swing 8 into 5. We're going to take it. And here we go. How are we going to get out of this, guys? This is not a good position to be in. There's the 4th Ice Age, so that's a good thing, even though we need bodies right now. We need Sengoku, we need Kuzans, we need Borsalinos. But the Ice Age is definitely better than nothing. Let's see how we choose to do this. I think we're going to go 10 into 8. Hopefully we can get this, but we'll see what happens. Okay, they're able to get out of that. Now we're going to Ice Age the Beckman. We're going to use the stage here to do -2 more to it, and we're going to pop it with the leader effect. Okay? Then they get down to use his Captain Kidd. Okay? This is a very tough spot to be in for those who are not aware. And we're already down to 2 life. What are they going to choose to do here? We do have some pretty decent counter power in hand. They're going to play out a blocker, which was very wise of them, but we are going to try to get through that, of course. We take the 8K hit. We are in trouble, guys. We are in trouble, straight up. All right, so here we go. It looks like we're going to probably How are we going to do this, guys? I'm considering how I can take out this Rosinante. Even the 3-cost Garp would be insane here, guys. Let me pause for a second and talk about it. 3-cost Garp in this situation would actually be so good. We can rest the stage to do -1 to Rosinante, use the Garp to put a card from our trash onto the bottom of our deck to give -1 more to Rosinante, pop that with our leader effect. That was only 6 Dawn. We could play out the Borsellino afterwards and just pass the turn and try for next turn, right? So, but let's see what we have to do instead here. I think we're going to have to slam down a Ice Age and just do what we can. We're going to have to slam down an Ice Age and do what we can. Okay, or T-Bone. I like T-Bone as well. Now we can swing for 10. But if we swing for 10, we're probably just going to lose. So we have to hope he has no counter in hand. He had no counter in hand. We leave 2 Dawn as active. Now we have access to a 2K, a 1K, and a Shockwave, and whatever is in our life. Whatever is in our life, I have no idea. We're battling back, guys. We're battling back. They're going to swing for 9. We're probably going to get out of this one. We'll do a Shockwave to go +4 and then a 2K counter to get out of that 9K because I need that blocker. They're going to tap down whatever they're, I don't know what's going on. They'll swing for 7. We take it. It is nothing that's going to help us. And here we go. Guys, we have to go all in. We have to go all in here. So -1 there. So -1 from Marineford, -2 more from the second one, minus a third from it, -5. That's 8. That card's gone. We have to hope the 5K gets through because we have no other chance, guys. It's swing 5, swing 6, swing 6. We're hoping for the best. Okay, so they use Kamakura Jutsushi to go up +1,000 power for the rest of the turn. Now it's just swing 6 and swing 7. That's all we had, hoping for the best, and they had double Smoker in hand. Good game. That was a nail biter, guys. That one was rough. But hey, it got there. Let's be fair. We did use our leader effects like 2 or 3 times that game to pretty decent effect, right? I think so, unless I lost track. But hey, it worked. Next game, this is a bittersweet one here, guys. That's right. You guys see who we're going against. Red, Yellow, Sabo. Oh, man. This was a pretty crazy game as well. It feels so good to play like this mono black navy exclusive version of the deck. It feels so thematic. It feels so right. Right, guys? Y'all know what I mean? I will say this, though. We'll talk about Smoker shortly after this. Hang on. Hold your horses. All right, guys? Hold your horses. We'll talk about Smoker after the game. The leader Smoker. 5, you know, I think it's OP02 Black Smoker. Okay, so we swing for 5. They take it. They did develop Sanji. We could have actually removed the Sanji. That might have been the right play. We could have removed it with a Kobe or an Ice Age. Actually, did we draw the Kobe from the Kuzan? I can't remember. Whatever the case is, we probably should have removed that card, to be fair. Okay. Let's see what our opponent chooses to do here. I think they were pretty deep in the tank this game. My opponent did use quite a bit more time than I did this game, if I remember correctly. And I don't say that to brag or be rude or anything like that. Sometimes it happens, right, guys? You got to give people the chance to play the deck and come up with their best possible options. And I would rather them take their time and have a really good play versus rush through and make a terrible play, right? Okay, they're going to swing in for 7 here. And now they're going to push this card back to the top of their life. And now they can swing 6 with the other Garp, right? 6 with leader, attach 2 to the buffed Garp, and swing 6 more. We're going to 2K counter out. We had a feeling they were going to do this. We did do the math on this. And of course, guys, hey, if anyone knows Red, Yellow, Sabo, right? It's us on this channel. It is us on the channel here. Okay, so we're not really in any rush to give them cards back to their hand from life, so I think we need to do this the proper way here. Let's see what ends up happening. I have to do the math a little bit here. We're going to swing 5 into 4. What would your play be in this situation here, guys? Not as Sabo. Pause. Pause. What would your play be in this specific situation here as Sakazuki in my place? What would you do here, guys? Because I'm going to try a play here that's not really your standard, I don't think. I mean, who knows? Tell me down in the comment section below if it's what you picked. But I think we're going to do something a little different here. Because we can remove Garp very easily, right? We're going to go swing 5, -4 to Garp. It just counts as -1 for now, right? Okay. We're going to play out a Tashigi, and we're going to play out a Garp. That was a very different play. In fact, in my head, I'm thinking, you know what? I think I want to go as wide as I can on the board. But watch what happens here, guys. We do get punished ever so slightly for this play. The Red Yellow Sabo player is playing the Goa Kingdom version of Sabo. Watch this, guys. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to start off with a Hiyori. If I remember this game correctly, they are on a 7 Dawn turn, which means they can attach 1 Dawn to their leader, and they have access to 6 more Dawn for the turn. 2 for Hiyori, 2 for a 2-cost character, and 2 for another 2-cost character. You heard that correctly. 2 different 2-cost characters. Watch this, guys. This was one of the turns. Like I said, it took them a little while to get the setup. It is not paused, guys, and we are on 2x speed. Okay, let me show you guys. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. Yeah, guys, he is just deep in the tank here. He wants to make sure he does this accurately, does it correctly, and he does. He does it very well. This was a very calculated player. Took him a little bit of time to do it, but hey, they got there. Now watch this play. Like I said, if this is the turn I'm thinking of, the game I'm thinking of even, they play out a Hiyori. They're going to set their... Okay, no, it is the next turn. So never mind. Hang on. That's coming up, guys. It's next turn. Spoiler warning. Sorry, guys. I did bust out the spoiler there. They're going to swing for 7. They're also trying to get me to play around the idea of a... of the Luffy. Now watch this. I think they're going to attach a Dawn to their leader, push the Luffy back, of course, and then go about things that way because we went very wide on the board. They're trying to slow down the game. We're going to give them a 2K counter here, guys. We are running 12 2K counters, which is really nice. 7-cost Sengoku here would just be insanely good. But unfortunately, we don't have it. So we're going to swing. We're going to swing minimal here. So, guys, can we try to swing for a bunch of 7s and knock their life down? Sure, we can try to do that. But I would rather develop the board even further than it is right now. We can swing 5, swing 5, swing 5, go double Borsalino or something like that, right? We don't really have to go all in here, right? It's not necessary. Let's just rip some cards out of the opponent's hand and see what they do. Look at that. That was a 2K counter for no Dawn investment. We turned a card sideways. They gave us a 2K counter. We're swinging all out here. Swing 5. So swing 5, swing 5, swing 5. And now I think we can swing 5 and then swing 5 more. We might leave the Garp as active. It depends on what they get from the trigger here if they choose to take it. And guys, this is a lot of damage we're putting on the opponent here. This is a lot of damage. And let's see what they choose to do. We're waiting for them to react, whether they want to use this. Maybe I would maybe take the hit if I were playing Sanji personally, and I would just gobble up this board next turn. That's how I would do it personally. Okay, let's see what they choose to do. Just waiting on our opponent here. Again, we're just kind of waiting for them to make up their mind. They're going to take it. I think that was the right call. Now we're going to probably just play out the... we're actually just going to KO that card. Okay, so why not play out the Kobe here to pop that card instead of just using the leader effect? I would rather keep the Kobe in my hand as a 1K counter because remember, they've already showed us an unblockable Luffy. We are not exactly in a good position right now to just, we can't even barely defend. Okay, let me put it that way. Okay, but check this out, guys. We've got an entirely full board here, and they have nothing on their board. So they're going to have to really pick and choose their battles wisely here. Now they're on their 9 Dawn turn. And if I'm not mistaken, guys, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game I recorded. Because I was going to say, here we go. So here's the Hiyori. Play out the 5-cost 7K ace. I think they probably couldn't do it last turn because they had 3 life. Is that what happened, guys? I might have messed that up. That's probably what happened last turn. So now they're going to swing for 7. We give them a 2K, 1K. They're going to push the ace back to the top of their life, buffing their Hiyori by 2,000, which won't really matter here. They're going to play out the ace again with another 2-cost ace. Now, this is not good. They're going to swing in for 7K and then at least 10K with their leader. Swing for 9. We'll take this one. We'll block out of the 10K because just get the most value we can out of the board. And now, guys, what do you do in this situation? What would you do in this current situation here? We have an impact wave or a shock wave in our hand. We have blockers. We have Ice Age. We can clean up this board pretty effectively, I would say. Yeah. Guys, we can clean up this board pretty effectively. We're going to -5 here. We're going to do we're going to trash card from our hand, use the leader effect to get rid of that. We're going to play out a Borsalino and just say, hey, your turn, bud. You have to get me this turn because next turn I'm going to go for lethal on you. Okay? So let's see what happens here. Remember, we do know, okay, after doing the GARP searches, I'm sorry, guys, y'all can't always see the GARP searches or any kind of searchers. Sometimes I reveal what the card is, sometimes I do not. But now we know he has this Luffy in hand and the other Luffy, the 5-cost 6K unblockable Luffy. So we are going to choose to, what did we do, guys? Did we just counter out of that one? Or did we take our last life? Hang on, were we at 1 life? Hang on, guys, I'm sorry. We do have to go back. It is very relevant. I think we were at 1 life. So they swing in for 7. Hey, guys, we say, you know what? I'll take it. That was a bold move there, guys. Hey, bold strategy, Cotton. Bold strategy, Cotton. Dodgeball reference, right? Good times. But check this out. They can't really do much more this turn. They can push that Luffy to life and play out a 2-cost and swing with it again. Well, I have a blocker and I have a shockwave in hand. So I'm not exactly... I'm not scared of losing the game on the attack here. I'm more scared that I cannot win the game next turn. That is my bigger concern, because remember, we know they have an unblockable Luffy in hand. We know that for a fact, okay? They're going to use the Luffy, play out the Luffy with it from the top of life. Now their leader's an 8k. They can swing for 8, 9. So they can swing for 9, swing for 9, right? Or is it swing 8, swing 9? Okay, well, the first one here, we probably should just block. Or, excuse me, not block. Use the gravity, use the shockwave to get that Hiyori out of our way. It didn't really matter, but just get it off the board. And now they're going to swing for 9. Unfortunately, we have to give them the blocker here. So what does that mean, guys? We know they have an unblockable Luffy in hand. We can't get out of it with what we have. So we have to go for lethal. Pause. Pop quiz. Okay, guys, pop quiz. How do you go for lethal in this situation? Understand I have 3 5Ks on the board. We have a 3K too, but hear me out. We have 3 5K characters and a 5K leader, right? They're a 7,000 power leader. We are not swinging into a 5,000 power leader. We're swinging into a 7,000 power leader. A 5,000 power leader would have been very easy. You just swing 7s across the board. 7, 7, 7, 9. Right? And that's going to get there. Right? Even if they had everything they needed, it's like, even if every card in their hand is a 2K counter, let me show you how that looks, guys. Swing for 7, they give me 2 cards from hand. Swing for 7 more, they give me two more cards from hand. Then we could literally just swing for 5. And then whatever that card is, it doesn't matter. We have 2 other relevant attacks going through to get into them if they're at a 5,000 power. But my opponent is at 7,000 power. How would you swing for lethal here? Pause and do the math. I'm going to hit play, but pause and do the math if you want to try to figure it out. Guys, I'm not swinging with all 4 characters. Let me give you a hint right now. Watch this. We're going to swing for 9. Why did we swing for 9? That is of utmost importance. Why did we swing for 9 first instead of 7? Because I wanted to swing for 9 and then swing for 11. That was actually my primary goal here, guys, to swing 9, swing 11. So we're swinging for 9. We know one of the cards in his hand is dead. We know it is a Luffy, and if I'm not mistaken, if I remember the game correctly, I might have known a few other cards in their hand. I can't recall off the top of my head. But here's the thing. This is coming in for 9, right? So that's going to take a 2K and a 1K. And then, remember, 1 card is already dead. So what I'm hoping for is, you know what? I'm hoping he has 2 bricks in hand. Watch what happens. They 2K, 1K. There's the Sanji from the beginning of the game. I swing for 7. They take it. We swing for 9. Let's see what they had here. They only had a 1K counter. So that was pretty much our best bet. I think we technically could have swung 7-7, assuming, like, I don't know, if he did just have to, if he had 2 bricks in hand, it wouldn't have mattered, right? But if he had a 1K counter and a 2K counter, then maybe it wouldn't have mattered either way. But it's swing, for this situation, guys, it's like, you know what? I'm swinging 9. Then when I get that out of the way, I'm swinging 7 and then 9 more. Or the other option, of course, would have been, like I was saying with, what was the other thing? If he had taken the 9K hit from our Kuzan, we're just all in swing 11. GG, got it or you don't, right? Good game to my opponent. Okay, next game here, last game here, we got against blue-black Sakazuki. We have to assert dominance and remind this youngster over here on who is the best Sakazuki leader in the format. And, of course, it is the ST06. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But, hey, having 5 life makes a big difference because I think our decks are relatively similar. They're running Shirahoshi, as random as that is, but I think our lists are pretty much very, very close. But they get access to Houndblaze and some of the blue cards, right? So, okay, so they're going to get to go second as well, which is really nice for them. We'll swing 5 into brand new, just get it off the board, play out the Kuzan, play out the stage. And we're sitting pretty right now, guys. We're actually sitting pretty well. They're going to use the Sengoku. They're going to fix their hand pretty well here, I'm sure. They just trashed there was a 4-cost pudding in their trash, if I saw that correctly. That's a little scary. We 2K counter out. They're going to use the, of course, they trashed a Navy card to -1 my Kuzan, play out the Rebecca, cheating out the Kobe, popping my Kuzan. Seems good. We're going to swing 5 into it. They just let it go. They have 3 cards in hand. They didn't want to get rid of their blocker. We're going to play out the Sengoku here. We're going to trash a few choice cards here. Yep, let's get rid of probably double Borsalino. That's interesting, right? Because we already have blockers we can pull stuff back with Rebecca. And we're probably going to do that right here. We will pull this card, we'll pull out the, I don't know what we did there. Yeah, we grabbed back a 2K counter. We're going to use another Sengoku here, apparently. We got some stuff off their board. We KO'd the 1 cost with the Brook, though. Okay, they're going to play out a Nefeltari Vivi, guys. What an interesting tech card for this deck, for blue-black Sakazuki. That's very interesting. That's very interesting in my opinion. They're going to play out the Kobe again. They keep getting insane value from the Kobe here. We're going to swing 5 into it every single time. They're building up a lot of blockers on their board. What do we want to do here? Do I really want to use an Ice Age in this situation? I think the answer is actually yes, believe it or not, guys, because I have a Kaido in hand and a stage, so I can pop the Gecko if they play one. No problem. We play out Kuzan, we play out Brook. This is probably the turn for them to drop Gecko if they have one. I'm sure they have one by now after the early Sengoku. And double Nefeltari Vivi now. I'm surprised they didn't have it this turn. They're going to play out a Montree, and they're going to do some They're going to return some cards to the bottom of their deck to grab a 7-cost or lower character. I think it is. It's something like that. Grab back a 7-cost or lower character from their trash. They're going to swing 6 into 4. We'll give them a blocker here. I'd prefer keeping the Brook if I can. They're going to play out Rebecca. Oh, look, guys. Here we go again. Kobe. The Kobe interaction is very strong, but guys, they're trashing a lot of cards from their hand to do this. Okay, here we go. We have double Kaido in hand. It might be time to just swing with Kaido. Now, right here, I messed up a little bit. I think what I should have done here is actually swing 4 into Kobe and see what he wants to give me, and then go about things that way. But I wasted 1 Dawn here when I don't think I should have. I don't think I should have wasted the Dawn here. We'll go swing 5. Okay, we're going to... They let it go, so now we're going to swing 5 at face. Now we're going to do some brand new searching. Okay, unfortunately, we just lost to Gecko Moria, unfortunately, but it does happen. But our board's much better than theirs currently. I mean, 3 Rebecca is not as good as Rebecca, Borsellino, Brooke, Brand New, and Sengoku, in my opinion. So we're doing pretty well, and we have more cards in hand. Okay, they're going to swing in. We're going to use one of these blockers. They finally play out a Gecko Moria. Okay, they get out a Kuzan, and they get out a Sengoku. Trashing 2 Navy cards, drawing 3 cards. Seems good. Seems really good with Gecko Moria. We swing our Sengoku into theirs. That thing's gone. So now, guys, I'm trying to make sure I do all the math correctly. They're going to get to keep that Kuzan more than likely here, guys, unless we choose to get rid of it. Let's see what we choose to do here. No, actually, we're going to be able to trash a card. Ice Age the Borsellino, the Kuzan. We'll swing for 5. Watch this. Okay. Ice Age Kuzan, swing in, pop the Kuzan. And now, we might even swing with the Borsellino. I think we probably should have swung with Borsellino. Why not? We've got a Kaido on the board, guys, and we are in a commanding position at this point. We've got the blocker. We've got the Brook they need to attack into. They go Suru to go -2, and they're going to hit me with an Amano Murakuma sword. I don't think that was necessary. Did something happen there that I missed? Hang on. Let me go back one more time. So, yeah. So that was a mistake there. 2. Yeah. So I think what they should have done, guys, guys, is -2 to the Brook to drop him to 1, and then -2 to the Borsellino to drop him to 2. Right? And instead, they trashed the T-Bone to -1 to the Brook. That was just a mistake there, but I don't think it would change much in this particular game. But they're going to be able to use Amano Murakuma sword and bottom deck both of my Borsellino and my Brook. That's very powerful. But guys, like I said, I have a massive board right now. Okay? I have the Kaido. Brand New's still a swinger. We can still swing with Brand New, guys. Brand New's still a swinger. That didn't sound right, but y'all know what I mean. Okay, so they play out a Tashigi. Guys, this is not the position you want to be in. That's all I'm going to say. Swing for 5. Swing for... actually, probably swing with my leader here. We're probably just going to T-Bone to get rid of the Tashigi. I'm trying to do a little bit of math here. Yep. Swing for 9. Use the blocker. Right here, we'll go -1 to your Tashigi. We'll play out the T-Bone. We'll pop the Tashigi. We'll play out the Brook. Pop the Suru. There's no climbing out of this one, guys. I don't care what he draws. I don't care what this man draws. There is no climbing out of this position. Not at this stage of the game. And I have double 2K. I don't have a blocker, but I have double 2K and 2 life. He had a zero power character on the board with Suru. Okay, they do get rid of something there with another Amano Murakuma sword. And here we go. They're probably going to use the Montree to get some 2K counters. They eat up the board pretty well. But how are we going to stop a 9 and a 15? The answer is you don't. Not with 3 cards in hand. Good game to my opponent. To all my opponents today. Those were some really cool games. And more than anything, guys, let's talk about the deck list real quick. So, guys, to be completely honest, this list you see right here, I think is just strictly better with this leader. Isho. No, I'm just kidding. Isho's good too, though, guys. Isho's solid too, but I was going to say Smoker. Go with the best 5-life mono black Navy leader you can. Run a package like this. I think you're just going to have quality results. Sakazuki is cool and all, but I just don't think he quite has it. I don't think he has what it takes to do what we're trying to do here, guys. The Marine Forward stage was actually pretty clutch at the end there, in my personal opinion. I think one thing we can probably do in this version of the list is, so what I would like to add, guys, is the 7-cost Sengoku. Where do you guys think we can add this, or do you think it's worth adding? I was even going to say we could probably drop down like a single, I mean, I don't know, Gecko Moria is just simply so good, guys. We are running 12 2K counters, so maybe we go down like, maybe we go down a T-Bone and down a Toshigi and go to 2 Sengokus. Maybe this becomes an option, because then we do have a decent curve where it's like, okay, turn 1 Sengoku, right? Or the stage, either one's kind of fine in my opinion. Turn 2 on our 3-Dawn play, we can slam down a Brook, and if we have the stage down, we can -1 to something, then pop it with Brook, or use Kobe, of course. Then our 5-Dawn turn is a little bit slow. We can technically use T-Bone in that situation. Maybe we do go back up to 4 T-Bones. I'm not sure. We'll have to see, guys. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But otherwise, we can, we can play out a T-Bone, and then with the stage, we're popping a 3-cost or lower. And then on our 7-Dawn turn, then we get to the Sengoku, into our 9-Dawn turn, Kaido. We have some options there. Another decent option, I guess, too, on our 5-Dawn turn is we can just, I mean, I don't know, maybe just go Ice Age and pop something with Kobe. Because swing 5 with leader, attach a Dawn to Kobe, Ice Age, we can swing in like that. I don't know. There's a bunch of different things we could probably do, and then a brand new search afterwards. It's hard to say. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. But I'm just going to say this, guys. I would really like to fit Sengoku into the list, and I don't think I want to get rid of any of these Kuzans. Going up 2 blockers, maybe we go down 1 Borsellino. Hang on, guys. We are going to do that just right away. Maybe we go something like this, where it's like, okay, we'll go down 1 Borsellino, because we went up 2 blockers, actually, right? We actually went up 2 blockers. So we'll go down 1 blocker here, and then we'll go up the 2K counter we removed in the place of it. So we have 11 2K counters. We have 2. Yeah, and plus we have all these Rebekahs now as well. This card ends up being a card you trash more often than not with your Borsellino, excuse me, with your Sengokus, and cards, if you just have to trash something to use your Sakazuki, you can trash the Borsellino and go about things that way. But yeah, there you go, guys. Another card to really consider. Speaking of the 5-cost spot, I mean, I just thought about this. Maybe Sabo. Maybe this new Dressrosa card in EB02, since we already have Sengoku in the list, right? This new Dressrosa, this is not a searchable card for us, but neither is Sabo, to be fair. Sabo is Dressrosa Revo Army, and then Trafalgar Law is Dressrosa Supernova Heart Pirates. But check out this card, guys. 5-cost, 6K, 1K counter blocker. You may return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck, and then draw a card. Or if your opponent has 5 or more cards, they discard a card. You can choose one or the other. I guess Who's another possibility. It's another option. But I think T-Bone's fine in this spot for now. One more card I do at least want to mention for a 2-cost spot in the deck. I just think it's such an incredible card to run with your Gecko Morias. It's just nice to have like 1 or 2 of them in the deck. Would be the 2-cost Helmeppo. Guys, this ends up being such an incredible card to run with your 8-cost Gecko Moria. Number 1, you can combo with Gecko Moria from your hand if you have to, and now you're pulling back something with Rebekah. Maybe at that point your Brook's hitting like a 4-cost character. That's, and then 5 if you have the stage down. But guys, hear me out. If you have an Ice Age in hand, you can actually go, okay, 1 for 1, Ice Age -5, and then play out Gecko Moria, and let's grab back the Rebekah and the Helmeppo. Well, that's -3 more, okay? And at that point, if we did have the stage, that's 9. We can pop anything we want with the Brook, or if we didn't have that, we could pop anything we want with the Kobe. So it does have some very, very strong interactions by including something like a Helmeppo as like a 1 or a 2 of in the deck. I think it would be pretty nice. Okay? Now, I know this is not the list people probably wanted to see with the Rebekah, the Brook, the Gecko. I know Ice Age should be expected in this list, guys. It's a Navy deck, okay? If anyone's allowed to run Ice Age, it is, of course, Sakazuki, okay? Because, guys, it's Sakazuki, okay? I know that's Kuzan in the picture with Ice Age, but y'all know what I'm saying. This is a Navy deck. Of course, he should be able to run it. It's all those other, dirty scoundrels taking Ice Age, like in the Lucci and things like that abuse it. I'm just kidding, guys. We're just joking. We're just having fun. But y'all know what I mean. Okay, Well, that's it, guys. I think we're done with this video. I will go back to the other list one more time just for people who want to see the more Navy version. Because let me tell you right now, guys, this Navy version is much cheaper than the one you just saw. We don't have access to the Sengokus yet. That's not a problem. I would drop all 4 of these Sengokus because we don't have EB02 yet in the West. Drop all 4 of these. I would go up 2 of these Garps because these are blockers, okay? And then I would maybe go up 2 more Sengoku, maybe go up a single Sengoku and a Shockwave, or maybe 1 more Marineford. Kind of pick and choose how you want to with these 4 card spots. Just know that here's the list that is legal currently that we can run any of these cards. Remember, guys, Garp came out in ST19 along with Sengoku, okay? So include whatever else you want in those remaining 4 spots. This Tashigi is not necessary, but it is kind of a card that just gets attacks in. It really wasn't bad, but hey, you know, it gets the job done. And hey, I'll say this right now too, guys. If you just want to add 1 extra card to make the deck a little bit stronger and take it to the next level, here you go. You just go, oh, look, here's Gecko Moria. And okay, we'll just remove this for the 4 cost. Where is it? I know I'm like upsetting people right now, I'm sure, just by adding all these busted cards right back in. I'm just saying it's an option that you'll have access to. And then, of course, you know, for the Brook, you can just drop these 2 or something. You know, you guys already remember the other. Oh, here it is. I fixed it, guys. This is what you do to include the Brook, guys. I got y'all. Okay, all right. We're back to normal, right? I think we're like a card or 2 off, but y'all get my point. All right, that was fun, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what y'all thought about this leader. What a classic leader at this point in the game's history. I know we're still very early on in this game's history, but such a cool leader. I wish it was better than it was. But the truth is, guys, they would have to print a card that said, your Sakazuki leader's effect does not cost anything this turn. Like, in other words, remove the entire cost of the card, and then you'll be able to just pop a 0 cost character. And when I say remove the cost, I mean even the colon part here, you may trash 1 card from hand, then it would probably be usable if there was some type of stage or something we can add that helps out our leader. Otherwise, I don't know, guys. I don't think it's happening. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Okay, we're done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Let's get the outro page on here. Guys, if you're supporting my channel in any way, guys, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to help me out, using the affiliate link, supporting me on the Patreon, the PayPal, donations, buying the playmat. We got a few, I think we got about 20 of those left. Becoming a YouTube member, hopping in the Discord, and becoming a part of that community. However you're helping me, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who does, and there's a lot of people who do. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys, I'm done for now. I'm really curious. I'm really anxious to see what you guys say in the comment section. Let's just please keep it peaceful. Let's please keep it civil and respectful down there, okay, guys? All right. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, peace.